All right, who is ready to make their boho coaster? Me, 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 me. So let's look at our materials we're gonna need for our class project today. You're going to need some number 4 worsted weight yarn. I'm using cotton yarn. You can use acrylic yarn or whatever you have on hand. Just keep in mind if you plan to use your coaster and you are going to use it with cool drinks, the cotton yarn will absorb the moisture better. But if you're going to use it for coffee or tea, acrylic yarn would work fine. But for today, I'm going to be using a cotton yarn, and it is going to be a number 4 worsted weight yarn. Going to be using my Clover Amore H 5.0 millimeter crochet hook, a tapestry needle, and some scissors. Make sure you bring up your PDF that is in the assignments section of the class. Here you can pull this up on your computer or print it out and keep it handy, and this will help as we go through and read the pattern and learn how to create the coaster. So under the materials list, you see cotton worsted weight yarn, and we just need very little. 0.5 ounces is what I weighed the finished project to be. We need our crochet hook, our scissors, our yarn needle. I have these cute little tags that I had made from an Etsy shop that I can put a cute little finishing touch on my designs. The abbreviations we're going to use today, another helpful handout is the PDF that's also attached with all of the basic crochet abbreviations. So CH is going to stand for chain, ST parentheses S stands for stitch or stitches, SC is going to be single crochet, F/0 stands for finish off or fasten off. Create our slip knot. Go over your finger, make your loop, pull that tail through the loop to create your slip knot. Place your H hook in the center of your loop and tighten your slip knot. Not too tight. Make sure that your chain can glide smoothly up and down your crochet hook. We are going to start out by chaining 17. So hold your yarn the way it's comfortable for you. I wrap mine around my pinky, then it comes up between my index and middle finger of my left hand. Yarn over, pull through your slip knot. See, look there. My slip knot's a little too tight. Yarn over. Sometimes if you hold onto the knot, that'll keep it from tightening up on you. So I'm just pinching the knot with my finger to hold it in place as I pull through. So there's my first chain. That's 1. We need to get to 17. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Got our 17 chains, which means we're going to end with 16 stitches. We had to chain that extra 17th stitch. That will be for our turning chain. So like in our practice round, we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across. By the time we get to the end of our chain row, we should have 16 stitches. So here is the chain on our hook. Here is the first chain. We're going in this guy here, second chain. So chain on the hook, first chain, second chain. Single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So not this guy, but this guy. Insert your hook through the chain, yarn over, pull through a loop, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through. There's your first single crochet. Same thing. There's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Need a little more yarn. 13. 14. 15. Ooh, guys, I just cha-chinged. In case you know anything about Etsy, if you sell on Etsy, when you get a cha-ching, that means you just made a sale. So I'm going to do my little happy dance. Okay, so we did 16 single crochets. We're at the end of our foundation row. Just like we did in our practice rounds, we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to turn the page of our book, and we're going to start on round 2. The second step of our instructions for row 2, it says chain 1 and turn. So we did that. We chain 1, we turn. We're going to single crochet in each stitch across. So our first stitch will go in the first stitch. So this is the loop that's on your hook. This is your chain 1. This is your first stitch. You want to make sure you're inserting your hook through both the front and back loop of the first stitch. Yarn over, pull through your stitch, yarn over, and pull through both loops. You just finished the first single crochet of this row. So that's 1. You're going to repeat the same process till you get to the end of the row. You should have a total of 16 stitches at the end of row 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to stop counting because I know that can mess people up. 15. and 16. Last stitch right here on the end. It could easily be missed, especially if you look at your work from this way. There is the last stitch. Go through both loops. Great job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If you lost a stitch, if you picked up a stitch, you might have to rip out the row. In crochet world, we call this frogging, when you have to tear your work out, because rip it, rip it, rip it. So you can easily correct your mistakes if you made one. Don't worry, that's why we started with this easy project that's not a very long chain row, only 16 stitches. So if you have to pull some out and start again, it's no big deal. So let me catch back up to you real quick here. So we just finished row 2. Row 3 through 15, repeat row 2. So for row number 3, we're going to chain 1, turn your work, and work 1 single crochet across each stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good. And if you are keeping your tension even, you should have decently straight lines going on the sides here. If not, practice. Just practice, practice, practice. Chain 1. Turn your work. Who is ready for their last row? You are doing awesome. If you've made it this far, which you have because you are a rock star and you don't give up and you've got a positive attitude and you were not getting frustrated, you took breaks when you needed them. Let's finish our last row together, friends. We're going to chain up 1, turn our work. Single crochet in the first stitch. There's number 1, number 2, and a 3, 4, 5, 6. Meet me at the end of the row. And the very last stitch, 16. We are going to fasten off like we did before, and it says F/O, which stands for fasten off on your pattern. So we're going to chain 1. And, oopsies. We're going to chain 1 and leave a long enough tail so that we can weave that tail in to the coaster. So we're going to snip that, pull your hook out, make sure that's secure. And you want to weave in our ends. I like to weave in the ends now. I don't like to do it at the very end because when I'm done, I am done. I don't want to weave in the ends. Some people love to weave in the ends. I hate to weave in the ends. So take your needle, thread it. So we want to hide this tail in our work. So I'm just going to flip this over. And I'm going to hide my tail throughout this first row here. So you're just going to thread your tapestry needle through a couple of stitches. You're just going to pull this through. And then you're going to go back the same way, but make sure you get caught up in some different fibers so you don't pull this, the first stitch you just made. So we're going to come back out the other side. That's 2. We're going to do this 3 times. So here's 3. Again, go back in the same general area, but thread through some different pieces so it stays secure. Good. Take your needle off. You're just going to snip the rest of that tail and then just kind of pull this so it hides in there. See? Easy peasy. Same thing with your other tail. All right, you have the base of your coaster. Now we are going to move on to the fringe. All right, let's make the fringe for our boho coaster. Get your tape measure. This doesn't have to be exact, so we're going to trim this up anyways, but I felt 6 inches was a pretty good length. So a measure about 6 inches, again, doesn't have to be perfect. Snip that. And I'm going to use this as my measuring tool to make groups of 3s for my fringe. So I'm using this as my guide. And snip through your loops on both sides here. Keep one out to measure your next group. So there's a group of 3 little fringes. Let's make another one. You're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 groups of 3. So there's 2. So once you have your 12 groups of 3 cut up here, we're going to attach the fringe. So you want to attach the fringe. If you look at your work, we're going to attach it to the side with these finished stitches and our foundation chain. We're not going to attach it here on the sides. Although you could do that, I still think it would look cute. But if you want your coaster to look like mine, then you are going to be attaching here and down here. So you want your finished stitches at the bottom. And you're going to go in the first hook here. The first hook, Lordy, into the first stitch. Take a group of 3. You're going to fold it in half. You're going to fit these strands underneath your hook. You're going to pull them through. So there's a little loop there. You're going to take these tails and just thread them through this loop and pull. You're going to attach about every 2 stitches. So we're going to skip 1, 2 stitches, go into this next one, grab your next group of 3, fold it in half, slip those underneath your hook and pull those through, giving yourself enough of a loop to pull the tails through. Be in the last stitch. So there's only 2 stitches left. So if there's not 2 to skip, no big deal. Just go in that last stitch. Grab your group of 3, fold it in half underneath your hook. Pull that through. Pull your tails through your loop. One side done. Turn this around and we are going to repeat for the other side. And to make it even as possible, just kind of line it up. Although the first one, so now we're working on our foundation row. Just pop your hook through a loop down at the bottom in the corner. Fold over your fringe, pull through, good, and then just kind of line it up. Line up with the one across from it. There's 2. Last one in the corner. Get in the very corner there. All right. You just kind of shape it up how you want to. So I took about half of this off. You can do it however you want. You can keep these fringes long, short. There's no right or wrong. I just pinched about a thumb tip's worth and gave it a snip. Because I like my fringe to look kind of full and thick instead of long and stringy. But you can see I'm not even measuring. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just give it a little pinch and a snip. You can measure if you want to and make them all perfectly even. Hey, guess what? You did it. You did it. Finished. Your boho coaster, and she is gorgeous. First crochet project. Try to keep it easy, not too difficult. Simple pattern to correct your mistakes. If you have questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer your questions, and I want to see your finished ones. I want to see what colors you used, what yarn you used, your beverage of choice. Mine's coffee. I need to go get some more. I hope you enjoyed this class. I loved it. It was my first class, so go easy on me, but let me know what you want more of, what do you want to make. Let me know. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the yarn aisle.